Hello again, Vinyl Community, Matt here. Today I have a bunch of upgrade records. So these are all records that I have previously owned, but either one in the best of shape, or maybe I found a copy that was just in even better condition. So 6 records here. Let's dive right in. And these have all been from the last few months. I have a stack of records to show. I'm just trying to stagger it over multiple videos, otherwise it's going to take forever. So anyway, 6 right now, and let's start off with ABBA, Voulez-Vous. I like ABBA. Actually, I think ABBA are one of the best pop bands of all time, if I'm being honest. Yeah, I've always been a fan of theirs. Ever since I was a kid, my parents had several albums of theirs, and I had Voulez-Vous already, but the record condition was okay, but the sleeve was pretty worn. And this came up on eBay. It was pretty cheap, and still in the shrink. Still got the hype stickers on it. I had a request to show the labels more often, so I'm going to try to do that. And I do try to show the labels sometimes, but it's just difficult, with time constraints and so on. But it's on, of course, the US Atlantic label right there. And the big hits off of here were Voulez-Vous, the title track, I Have a Dream, Angel Eyes, which I think was also a single release, Does Your Mother Know, and Chiquita as well. So it's got quite a few of their biggest hits on here. And yeah, just figured I'd pick it up. It's a pretty good price, so why not, right? Okay. Next up, we have An American Dream by the Dirt Band. Now, this is the only album of theirs that I've ever owned, but I love the first 2 tracks on it, which are An American Dream, the title track, and In Her Eyes. And the rest of the album's good too, but those first 2 songs are really terrific. And this had been a thrift store find a while back, and I'd always sort of said, well, I'll upgrade it at some point. And this is still in the shrink, still got the price sticker on it, because the copy that I had was, again, the record was actually pretty decent, but the sleeve was just kind of so-so. It's on the United Artists label right here, and this came out in 1979. Actually, now that I think about it, I think this was still sealed, if I remember, and I unsealed it. And because you never know what you're gonna get when something's been sealed for decades, it's always kind of like, is the record going to be warped, or what's going to be the situation? But it was in perfect condition, so very pleased to pick up an upgrade of the Dirt Band. Alright, next up we have, if I can get this one back in the sleeve, there we go. Next up we have The Adventures, The Sea of Love. This is a really terrific album. This came out in 88, I think. Yeah, 1988. This is a promo copy. And again, I already had this. My copy, which I think I got it from eBay, probably between 1 and 2 years ago. And I got it solely for the song Broken Land, which is a terrific, really underrated song. It didn't chart particularly well, but it's really underrated. But the whole album is super solid, really good. It's pop music, I guess. And I didn't realize that, so it says press on high quality audiophile vinyl, which is sort of interesting, but also if you look closely, it has the DMM logo for direct metal mastering, so it's a very nice sounding copy. This one I think also was steel sealed, and I opened it, and it's on the Elektra label. Of course it's a promo, so it's got a white label. And yeah, the Adventures were a band that never quite made it. You know what I mean? Broken Land's by far I think, as far as I know, by far the most well-known song, but it should have been a much bigger hit than it was, and they should have been bigger than they were. Okay. Next up we have Stevie Wonder, Hotter Than July. I'd originally found this at a record store, and it was only $5, but it was VG Plus at best. It kind of was, it was back when I was just buying anything pretty much, and condition was not one of the main factors with what I was looking for. And I've been gradually trying to upgrade some of my copies of some of my poorer copies here and there, and this was one. And so I found this on eBay. Very nice copy, because it's on the Tamla Motown label. Oh, and it's a gatefold too. You just Just has the lyrics inside the gatefold here. But I'll show you the label right here. Very nice. By far the two most well-known songs on here are Master Blaster and Happy Birthday. And this came out in 1980, so it's a slightly later Stevie Wonder album. It's certainly after his golden period in the early to mid 70s, but you know, it's Stevie Wonder. It's always pretty solid. Okay, get this back in the sleeve. There we go. All right. Two more to go. I can't remember if I've shown this one already. It occurred to me I might have done, but I don't remember, so I apologize if I have. Steppenwolf 16 Greatest Hits. There've been more than one version of this album. There was an earlier Greatest Hits compilation that had fewer songs on it, like, I don't know, 10 or 12, something like that. And that's the one I had. But again, the condition was just so-so. I'd gotten it, you know, for a couple of bucks from a record store a long time ago. Was never crazy about the condition of it. Again, the record was actually decent, but the sleeve was pretty poor. And so when I saw this on, where did I get this from? I think this was eBay as well. I think all of these might have been eBay. And it was a good price. And so this is the later copy, and they added more songs to it. And I think it's on the MCA label, is it? Let me see. Yeah, it's on MCA right here. Very nice condition indeed. You know, everybody knows Steppenwolf, Magic Carpet Ride, and Born to Be Wild, etc., etc. I guess those are probably the two most well-known songs. But yeah, pleased to pick this up. I think it was only, I don't know, between $5 and $10. Wasn't too expensive. All right, last but not least, Bob Dylan's Greatest Hits. Again, already had it, but the condition was not particularly great. This one I think I paid the most for. This was, I think this was at least $10, but I think it's worth it, particularly because it's I believe it's an original pressing. We've got the nice Columbia label right here. If it's not an original pressing, it's an early pressing. The copy that I previously had was a whoops, it was a much later pressing from sometime in the 70s. This album originally came out in 60, let me see if it says. It doesn't say. Mid-60s, I think, something like that. Of course, by that point, Dylan was already a huge name. So I do have his second Greatest Hits album as well, which I probably will not be looking to upgrade because that one was in better condition than the first one. So yeah, still in the shrink, still got the hype sticker on it. Although funnily enough, I don't think it contains the poster. It says it does, but there's no poster in there. And my other copy doesn't have the poster either, so I can't just swap that out. Probably, you know, back in the day, people took the posters out, especially teenagers, kids, you know, they would stick them up on their bedroom walls. So it's not uncommon to have missing posters in a lot of these earlier albums. So that's it. Yeah. Thank you guys as always for watching. I always appreciate your comments. Please hit the subscribe button if you'd like to sub me. And if you hit the bell icon, you'll be notified whenever I post a new video. Thanks as always for watching, and until next time, bye bye.